Ndabambi are preparing for their exit tomorrow for Admiral Higgs, and in September, Admiral Ndabambi will be exiting. It is for that reason that the Chief of Navy saw it befitting that he must say thank you and goodbye to both of them. Understanding how difficult and emotional it is to say goodbye to fellow officers, great leaders, visionaries, and shipmates, I will now allow tears during this evening. But please make sure that when you cry, you don't cry very loud, so that we can be able to enjoy the evening as well.
Admiral Ndabambi, I'm meant to believe, and I know for a fact, he was amongst the first group of MK that were trained in Russia in naval matters. So all the time we'll gather somewhere in this place during dinner, trying to understand or listen to what they have to say about their training. In the process there, we started realizing that Admiral Ndabambi, the way of looking at things in terms of discipline, it kind of is, it have a kind of lot of meaning. It tend to be very street extreme as well. So we always say Admiral Ndabambi is a disciplinarian in a military, even when it's not necessary. Having said that, Admiral, I'd like to say thank you very much on behalf of some of many other people that you have interacted with. Many of us who have learned so much from you, and in terms of looking at things in a different way, you always encourage us to look at things not as they are, but try to put ourselves in the shoes of the next person as and when we're dealing with that particular person. And I'd like to say thank you very much for the friendship, and being a colleague, as well as assisting me to settle in the Fleet Command. I still remember some of the boundaries. I'll not mention it here. And I would like to wish you well with your retirement, and keep on doing all the good job that you have started with, and smiling at all the time. I thank you.
Those of you probably who don't know, in this entire room, and in fact I think in the entire Navy, Strong Defence Force, I'm the person who's known Admiral Higgs the longest, by a sheer coincidence. We met at a school in Port Elizabeth, I think 1973-74, when I first took notice of this younger person than myself, because I was in, Admiral Higgs and I are a year apart at school. And what we were doing at the time, we were trying out for the Cadet Corps detachment. And those people wanted to volunteer for positions in the Cadet Corps. We had to muster one afternoon and drill, parade the group around and give orders and so on. And that's where I first actually noticed Admiral Higgs. And I remember it very well. I don't know why. Possibly because you became a student officer and I was made a sergeant. And that's the truth. I was the colour sergeant. But we've known each other since our school days, 73, 74 period. And that goes quite a way back. There was somebody else with us in the Navy at the time, Captain Andy Reid, and most of you will know, who was also a grey with us. And we had 3 consecutive year groups of grey boys joining the Navy, all landing up in the submarine flotilla by coincidence. But there are many stories about Admiral Higgs and his early time in the Navy that one can recount. You will know his formal CV about being diver qualified, one of the highest qualifications in the diving fraternity in the Navy, still to this day. Having had command of a surface ship, having had command of a submarine. I think, Rusty, if I may make it a little more informal, you might still be the only person to have taken a submarine into the waterfront area, into the inner basin of the waterfront. And it's true that what they say, that by the grace of God, good things happen to good people, because those of you that know that inner basin of the waterfront, it's extremely small and tight, and a definitely submarine doesn't maneuver well. But you took that submarine in and out successfully. I don't think it's been done since. What I'd like to mention is that Admiral Higgs has very much helped shape the international maritime and general security environment. I'm sure that going forward we will still see a lot of you in and around Pretoria.
Perhaps it's an honor to be able to say I served with Admiral Higgs, I served with Admiral Ndabambi. It's a somewhat bittersweet occasion, I'm sure also for the Higgs family. 40 years of loyal service, zeal, diligence are the two words that come to mind. And before one gets too sad, almost in the same vein as what the MC said, I must actually quote somebody, T.S. Eliot. He said, what we call the beginning is often the end, and to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from. And perhaps, you know, you and Admiral Ndabambi, you've altered course, you're going around the Cape Point now and with the southeaster from behind, following seas, entering a new ocean. But perhaps at ocean, the water's warmer, the wind's friendlier, and we know that for both of you, there are exciting times ahead as well. But you stand at the end of a very long career, Admiral Higgs, 40 years, and I think it's important for us to let you go with great dignity, if I may use your own words, for the sacrifices you and your family have made, for the sacrifices the Ndabambi family have made in this period, and we see that, and we salute you both for that. And we wish both these admirals the best for the future. And in the words again of Admiral Higgs, as long as you remain healthy and feel 5 years younger than what you actually are. And with the support of your families, I'm sure you will get there. Thank you very much.
It is my singular honor today to join you in saying farewell to distinguished flag officers of admiral rank and their spouses that were the pillar of strength and support in them serving the country and the SANDF through the South African Navy, namely Rear Admiral Higgs and Rear Admiral Junior Grade Ndabambi, affectionately known as Rusty and Ralph respectively. But I know Admiral Ndabambi in the other world as Patrick Makalai. He knows that name. It was his combat name, Nom de Guerre. They have both collectively served in excess of 76 years in various posts within the South African Navy and abroad in diplomatic appointments. Both Admiral Higgs and Ndabambi were members of my command team, delivering exceptional service in the interest of the South African Navy, under sometimes difficult and challenging circumstances.
Well, here I am, Rear Admiral Rusty Higgs. 40 and a half years service in the South African Navy. I've had a wonderful time. It's really, really been the most amazing journey and coming towards the end now. And of course, just delighted for all the opportunities which the South African Navy has given me. When I joined in January 1976 as a young midshipman, right the way through to now, retiring from the Navy, about to go and start a new chapter of my life. But we're exceedingly grateful for everything which the Navy has given us, everything which it has meant. And also very, very grateful for the role which we've been allowed to play. Diana, our 3 kids, everything which we've been able to do in the broader Navy environment. And ultimately, if I look back over all the years, I have absolutely no regrets. I'm just delighted that I was given the opportunity to do my duty.
I have reached the ceiling of my career in the South African Navy. I have enjoyed this long journey working with world-class people in all respect, HR, technical, combat, PRO.